Thank you. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's public hearing. Good evening. Before we get started, please turn off your cell phones or any other electronic devices to avoid any interruptions to the meeting. If anyone present is planning on presenting testimony, please sign up at the sheet in the back of the hearing room. Anyone who wants an opportunity to speak tonight will have the opportunity and have time to do so. Please step up to the podium when it's your turn and make sure you clearly identify yourself for the record before you begin your testimony. We request that you please keep your testimony focused on the relevant issues and facts for each application. Please remember, these hearings are to allow for members of the public to speak on issues related to land use applications, not to air grievances about each other or your neighbors. We will not tolerate or allow testimony that is hateful in nature and will stop your testimony if it delves into a statement on other people's character. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, February the 11th. Time is 6 o'clock, set for our public hearing. All three commissioners are present. Mr. Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll first take up application number, I'll open the public, application number 2025-01159V, Tony Vowles. I understand there's been a request to table this to March 11th. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept a motion to table this application to the March 11th meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we table application 2025-00159-V to the March 11th, 2026 meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. You've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have, I'll open the public hearing on application 2025-01346, MSP v. Justin Schwartz. Public hearing is open. We'll first hear from our staff to give us a report. Go ahead, Amelia.
Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2025-01346-MSP-V is a master site plan for a contractor's yard and vehicle impound yard with a variance to grant relief for the setbacks from residential uses. The property is located at the northwest corner of West Cameo Street and West Gowan Road and contains 3.43 acres in the Airport Industrial District. The property is located close to Boise city limits and is located within Airport Influence Area C, which is the area closest to the Boise Airport. Most of the surrounding property are industrial uses, with some open space and residential uses outside of the immediate vicinity. The applicant is proposing to operate a contractor's yard and shop for a craning and rigging company on part of the property and a vehicle impound yard on the other portion of the property. The proposed structure will include a shop and office space, and the facility will take access off of West Gowan Road. The facility will be connecting to Boise Sewer and Veolia Water. The applicant will be required to submit a landscaping plan as a condition of approval, as well as a lighting plan if the site will have any proposed outdoor lighting. The contractor's yard will be operating from 8 to 5, while the impound yard will not have set hours, but instead be open on an as-needed basis. The variance is required because one of the specific use standards for vehicle impound yards is that the yard be located at least 1,000 feet from any residential districts or uses. As shown on the zoning map, the immediate vicinity is all located in the Airport Industrial or M3 district, which is typical for areas close to the airport due to new residential uses not being allowed. However, there are still residential zoning nearby, some of which are older residential subdivisions before the airport expanded. In order to grant a variance, 3 findings need to be made. First, that it does not grant a right or special privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the base district. Second, that it relieves an undue hardship due to characteristics of the site. And third, that it is not detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. The variance will not grant a right or special privilege, as vehicle impound yards are principally permitted uses in the M3 district, and there are few residential uses within the 1,000-foot radius, as residential uses in Airport Influence Area C are considered non-conforming due to impacts from the airport, such as noise. It should also be considered non-conforming due to, it should also be noted that the same proposal was approved by the board in 2017 under a previous application, but the use expired as the applicant did not complete the conditions of approval on time. The variance also relieves an undue hardship due to characteristics of the site, as the area was envisioned to be industrial, and while Area C restricts any future residential development, there are still pockets of residential districts and uses in the vicinity. There are no residential uses directly adjacent to the site. The application is also not detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare due to comments received upon transmittal. The application was transmitted to agencies concerned with the protection of the public health, safety, and welfare, as well as neighbors within 1,000 feet. Ada County Highway District is requiring site-specific conditions of approval to Gowan Road and Cameo Street, including pavement widening, curb, gutter, and sidewalk. Boise Airport commented with no objections and is requiring standard conditions and noted there is already an existing navigation easement for the property. The county engineer is requiring a drainage plan before any construction of the yards or shop. Boise Public Works commented that sewer is available and connection fees are due prior to building permits. They also commented with best practices and conditions regarding material storage and wastewater disposal. They also noted that solid waste was not addressed on the site plan, but is allowing a solid waste plan to be approved as a condition of approval. Staff finds that the application complies with Ada County Code and recommends approval to the board. This presentation will be known as Exhibit Number 35, and I will stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board to the staff? Any questions? No questions? All right, thank you. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Do you wish to speak?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, good enough. Well, in that case, is there anyone else? I don't have anybody else signed up to speak. So I'll close the public hearing on application 250-250-1346-MSP-V, Justin Schwartz. What is the pleasure of the board? Is there a motion pending?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve application 2025-01-346-MSP-V based on the findings of fact and conclusions of law as presented tonight.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Seems like we've had this before, and here we are again. Okay, so if there's any further questions, I'll call for the question. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Next up, I'll open the public hearing on application 202502329 BPA-V, The Land Group Incorporated. Amelia is still up to give us a report. Go ahead, Amelia.
Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2025-02329-PBA-V is a property boundary adjustment between two platted lots with a variance to exceed substantial conformance. The property is located at 6615 West Moon Valley Road and 404 South Silver Moon Lane and contains approximately 18 acres in the Rural Urban Transition District. The property is located south of Eagle city limits and east of Star city limits. The property is within Eagle's area of impact. Most of the surrounding property are residential and agricultural uses. The applicant is proposing to change the lot lines between two lots in the Dudley Ranch subdivision and Griffith subdivision. The applicant states that the adjustment would make it easier to facilitate the ongoing agricultural use of the properties by granting the pasture area of the Dudley Ranch lot to the owners of the Griffith lot. While both resulting lots would meet the required 5 acres and 250 feet of frontage for the RUT district, one of the requirements for property boundary adjustments is that any adjustment to a platted lot needs to be in substantial conformance with the original plat. This means that the lot square footage can't increase or decrease more than 25% of the original square footage. The proposed adjustment would increase the Griffiths lot by 105% and decrease the Dudley Ranch lot by 40%, which requires variance approval. In order to grant a variance, 3 findings need to be made. First, that it does not grant a right or special privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the base district. Second, that it relieves an undue hardship due to characteristics of the site. And third, that it is not detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. Staff has found that based on submitted materials, the proposed variance does not meet all 3 required findings. First, the variance would grant a right or special privilege otherwise allowed in the base district, as substantial conformance applies to all districts, and one of the lots would be increasing more than double the original square footage. Additionally, the adjustment would create a double-fronted lot, which would not be allowed if this were a new subdivision. The variance does not relieve an undue hardship due to characteristics of the site, as utilizing the pasture land for agricultural purposes can be accomplished by private agreements such as an access easement or land lease. The variance would not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare, as the application was transmitted to agencies and neighbors within 300 feet, and no comments of concern were received. Staff finds that the application does not comply with Ada County Code, as only 2 of the 3 variance findings were met, and recommends denial to the board. The board is encouraged to take into consideration any testimony presented before making their decision. This presentation will be known as Exhibit Number 27, and I will stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board? No questions, thank you. Oh, you do have a question, go ahead.
So to explain again, just clarification, the one that the staff recommends they don't comply with is the no right or special privilege. Explain that again.
So it would be considered a right or special privilege, as substantial conformance applies to all platted lots in all districts, and granting an increase of substantial conformance from 25% to 105% and 40% would be considered a special privilege.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, no questions, thank you, Amelia. Okay, is the applicant here? Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, my name's Tamara Thompson. I'm with the Land Group. Our offices are at 462 East Shore Drive in Eagle. I have a PowerPoint here for you. Thank you. And I'm guessing I can adjust that there. All right, the property is located, as Amelia said, approximately 1.25 miles east of Highway 16 on Moon Valley. It has Charlie Horse Lane on the east side and Silver Moon Lane on the west side. However, it does have a waterway that separates those two. So although it would have street frontage on both sides, it would be difficult to get through with a vehicle. A property boundary adjustment is requested to adjust the property line between 2 platted lots on 2 different subdivisions. Griffith subdivision, and let me catch up here. So here's where the properties are. And the 2 properties, or all the properties in the general vicinity are zoned RUT here in Ada County. And the property boundary adjustment is between 2 platted lots. Griffith subdivision number 2 is on the west, and Dudley Ranch subdivision's on the east. And then in the middle, I kind of married those together with blue beams, so you could kind of see how they go together. The property owners of the 2 parcels are wanting to merge their properties, and with that, we have a variance to support the proposed boundary line adjustment. The resultant properties comply with the dimensional standards of the RUT zone. The adjustment will result in a change in parcel size exceeding the 25%, which necessitates the variance under current county regulations. And here again shows the various sizes of those properties. And then here's their request. The larger property was recently purchased. It was in dire need of cleanup, and my clients have spent a lot of time and resources cleaning up that property. The purpose of this property boundary adjustment is to better align the property boundaries with the land's natural use and to preserve its agricultural character. The proposed adjustment will facilitate ongoing agricultural use while maintaining the rural integrity of the area. The request is not intended to increase development density or alter the zoning designation. Rather, it is a practical solution to support continued agricultural use and stewardship of the land. Our neighborhood meeting was well attended. Neighbors had no opposition to the proposal. No agencies have opposition to this proposal. And as staff showed you, this is the proposed record of survey. The adjustment will not negatively impact public health, safety, or welfare, or neighboring properties, infrastructure, or public services, and it aligns with the goals of Ada County's comprehensive plan regarding preservation of agricultural lands and responsible land use. The variance does not grant a special right or privileges, as the properties will comply with the dimensional standards of the RUT zone, the lot size, lot coverage, setbacks, all of those of the dimensional standards in the zone are being met. Agricultural uses are allowed within the RUT zone, and that is the main focus of the boundary line adjustment. Even though it is a double-sided lot, there is a stream that runs through, so vehicular access is not obtainable through the site. The variance relieves a hardship of the parcels by allowing more pasture land, which currently contains a pond that covers over 25% of the parcel. And there's also important bird habitat and wetland habitat that will be preserved with this boundary line adjustment. We appreciate your time tonight, and we respectfully request your approval. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from the board? Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, so the way you described it, again, clarifying in my mind, understanding what you said, this increases its value in terms of its usability for ag purposes, which is the primary purpose of why you want to do what you're doing.
Yes, Chairman, that is correct. It is to maintain the agricultural, it's currently a horse property, and it would add pasture land to that horse property.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, so you disagree with the staff that says that it does grant a special right or privilege?
Mr. Chair, yes, that's correct.
And as you indicated, the request is not intended to increase development density or alter the zoning designation, but rather it is a practical solution to support continued agriculture use and stewardship of the land. Now, the staff indicated you might could accomplish the same thing through easements and that sort of thing, but you're not interested in doing that.
I don't, we don't see how that, it is obtainable with easements and that. You can't transfer land that way.
Okay. Because I see it's quite a shift in the one lot is like, what is it? I don't have it in front of me here, but your presentation had the one lot is, what is it, about 11 or 12 acres, and it's going to be cut down to about 5 or 6, something like that? Because you're doing this L-shaped thing, yeah? Right, yeah, right there. It was 13.18 acres, then it turns down into 7 acres. That's correct? But then the other one comes into sort of a L-shaped thing, increases from 4.9 to 10.3 acres. But it's not changing the usage of the property at all, is it?
That's correct, yeah. It's just the 4.99 acre property needs more pasture land. And this was a good way to obtain that. And as you can see on the aerial, and I don't know if I can point to that with this,
Okay.
I don't seem to be able to point to it, but there's quite a bit of wetlands in that southern area of the larger property. And then there's a large pond on the 4.99 acre property. So there's a large pond on that property, and then there's wetland. So it just makes a nice, it just kind of merges those two where, it's not a buildable for another home or anything like that, so.
Now, has that parcel been sold to the other party? The 13.18 acres to reduce their lot size to 7.87? Did they sell them that bottom half there?
Not at this time, no. It will be if we're able to do the boundary line
Oh, so
adjustment.
this is to facilitate the sale
This is to
there.
facilitate
So they
that
can, so
sale.
they can increase the acreage in there, in the 4.9 acres to 10.3,
Absolutely, yeah.
and.
Yeah, we need the boundary line adjustment in order to do that. And we need the variance in order to do the boundary line adjustment.
I see, okay. Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Question for staff, when you talked about alternate methods of achieving the same result, did you do a deep dive on that, or you just kind of skim the surface and stated those?
As far as other options to do what they're proposing, the only other option to actually convey that land would be to possibly make a new subdivision, which would be new preliminary plat, new platted lots, and it would effectively replat the 2 existing subdivisions.
So question for the applicant, that sounds like it would be probably not the most practical way to get this done. Was that your thought?
Yeah, Commissioner, that is an option. It's lengthy, as you know, doing a pre and final plat. Those are about a year minimum, and they're not inexpensive. So this was one of, we thought we'd try this route first because it seemed like a better step, and frankly, we feel like it is a good option, and that the variance, we feel like we have a good argument, and the interpretation of staff, we don't agree with, so we thought we'd bring it to you to get your interpretation.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what you're saying, even if you were to do all of that extra work and process, the result would be just spending more money to accomplish the same result. You would be using the land exactly the same way.
Commissioner, yes, we can get the same thing. It would just take more time and money to get there.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you need to add her presentation to the record?
Yes, the applicant's presentation will be known as exhibit number 28.
Number 28, okay. Anything else you need to the record while we're here?
There is none.
Okay, I'll then close the public hearing on application 2025-02329 BPAV, the land group. Okay, now it's up to this board to decide. Are we going to accept the staff's recommendation, or are we going to accept the applicant's recommendation?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead.
Based on what how I view it, and that's why I asked the last question I asked. The end result is to use the property to enhance agricultural production in the area. That's what they would do with either methodology. So in that context, I don't think it grants a special right or privilege. It just provides, if we grant them this variance, it just provides an opportunity to more quickly get to the end result that they want. So I'm inclined to support the application
Any other
for the
discussion?
variance.
Well, I'm sure staff is correct when they strictly apply the laws here, but, to follow up on Commissioner Daly, really the end result would be the same either way, whether they get the variance or whether they have to go through another very expensive and timely process to refile this. So I think because nothing would be changed from one method to the other, I could broadly interpret that as not a special right, since the result would be the same. Takes a little artful reasoning to get there, but I think I'm comfortable with this.
All right.
So I'm ready for a motion. if
It
that-
seems as though we're ready for a motion, which would be to table this so that we could get some revised findings and conclusions. So what's the best date, Richard?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we would recommend the open business meeting on the 24th
Of February.
February.
24.
So we would approve it and table it till the 24th.
Table it and ask the board, the staff to find revised findings of fact to approve the application. Should be the motion. I'd accept the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to table application number 202502329-PBA-V, Land Group Incorporated, to
24th?
which meeting?
24th, open business meeting, 24th.
February 24th, 2026, with the instructions to the staff to incorporate the comments of the board tonight approving the variance.
Revised findings and variance. Okay, is that clear? Okay,
I second the motion.
motion seconded, and staff is clear on our recommendation. So any further discussion before we vote? No, I think that we're doing something good for the cause, and I think staff understands. So I'll call for the question. Did you have something, Richard?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we'll next have, I'll open the public hearing on application 202501845 ZCDAS, Rodney Evans and Partners. We'll ask our staff, Doug Holton, to give us a report. Go ahead, Doug.
Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2025-01845-ZC-DA-S is an application for a zoning ordinance map amendment to rezone the property from the rural residential district to the rural urban transition district, a development agreement, and a preliminary plat to allow for 2 5-acre lots. The property is located at 13400 South 5 Mile Road and contains approximately 10.12 acres. Surrounding properties are largely residential and agricultural in use. The property is located within CUNA's area of impact. The future land use map of the CUNA Comprehensive Plan, as adopted by Ada County, designates this property as low-density residential. which makes this proposal compatible with the CUNA Comprehensive Plan as adopted by Ada County. This slide shows the proposed preliminary plat for the Ned Ventoso subdivision, which features 2 5-acre lots. The proposed subdivision complies with the dimensional standards for the proposed rural urban transition district. Access to Lot 1 will come from West Ventoso Lane, and access to Lot 2 will come from Ned Pepper Lane or South 5 Mile Road, if approved by ACHD. Some of the agency comments received were that the Ada County building official has no objection to this proposal. A retroactive building permit may be required for unpermitted structures over 200 square feet. A building permit will be required for all new structures over 200 square feet. The Ada County engineer commented that the project is within a nitrate priority area. New domestic wells will likely need to be a minimum of 380 feet deep within this area. New domestic wells should be tested for arsenic, uranium, nitrates, along with the typical well testing. These results should be reported to the Ada County engineer. A memo to the county engineer should address if irrigation will be available to serve the lots, and if so, identify if it is gravity or pressurized. Identify how the land use change will not impact irrigation water users that have a right to water that historically passes through the site. Ada County Highway District commented that 5 Mile Road abuts the site, and it is listed as a future 3-lane arterial. The owner and/or applicant shall dedicate right-of-way on 5 Mile Road totaling 39 feet from the center line, which would still keep the parcels in compliance with the Rural Urban Transition District dimensional standards. Central District Health commented that a land development application, a fee per lot, test holes, and a full engineering report is required. No neighbor comments were received. Other key conditions of approval are access to Lot 1 shall come from West Ventoso Lane. Access to Lot 2 shall come from either Ned Pepper Lane or 5 Mile Road with ACHD approval. And any stormwater facilities or drainage improvements must be approved by the county engineer. On December 11th, 2025, the Ada County Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval for this project. Staff finds that this application complies with Ada County Code and recommends approval to the board. This presentation will be an exhibit to the record, and I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board to the staff? Go ahead.
You said a retroactive building permit? That's not part of this, that's just a normal administrative
That's a
function.
very standard condition. Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, thank you. All right, is Ben in? Do you want to, oh, hello, Ben. Do you want to say something? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Ben Semple, Rodney Evans and Partners, 1450 West Bannock Street, Boise, Idaho, 83702. I just wanted to confirm we are in agreement with all the conditions of approval in the staff report. All the comments from the agencies received, we will comply with. I did want to just mention that there is not gravity surface water rights on this property, so any irrigation would be provided by a well with a half-acre maximum irrigable area as, per Ada County Code. And other than that, I'd stand for any questions you might have.
All right, any questions? No questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Doug, do we need to add anything to the record?
Aside from this presentation, no.
Okay, so this presentation's been added. All right, I'll close the public hearing on application 2025-01845ZCDAS, Rodney Evans and Partners. Okay, the application is closed. It's up to the board to consider this. What's the pleasure of the board?
I have a motion.
All right, I'll accept the motion.
I move that we approve application 2025-0845-ZC-DA-S, Rodney Evans and Partners, based on the findings of fact and conclusions of law and the discussion tonight.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion on the board? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right, next, I'll open the public hearing on application 202502068V, Robert Louise application. We'll ask Doug to stay in the deck and give us some more report.
All righty.
Thank you.
Chairman and Commissioners, project number 202502068-V is an application for a variance for a proposed accessory structure to encroach into the rear setback. The property is generally located at 7637 South McClintock Place. The property contains 1.18 acres within the rural residential district. It is Lot 16, Block 1 of the Chisholm Valley Subdivision Number 2. The property is within CUNA's area of impact, and CUNA city limits are directly north of the property. The general area is largely residential and agricultural. This slide shows the general area of the property where the proposed accessory structure is planned. This slide shows where the proposed accessory structure is to be located. The accessory structure is proposed to be 10 feet from the rear property line, whereas the minimum dimensional standards for the rural residential district requires rear property line setbacks to be a minimum of 25 feet. Some agency comments provided were, the Idaho Department of Fish and Game had no comment. The Ada County Building Division has no objection to the proposal. The Boise Project Board of Control commented that there are not Boise Project nor Boise CUNA Irrigation District facilities located on the property. However, it does possess a valid water right. To approve a variance, 3 findings must be made. The variance does not grant a special right or privilege not otherwise allowed in the base district. The variance relieves an undue hardship due to characteristics of the site, and the variance is not detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare. Staff finds that the variance does grant a right or special privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the base district. All structures within the rural residential district are required to adhere to the dimensional standards, which includes rear setbacks of at least 25 feet. Staff finds that the variance does not relieve undue hardships due to characteristics of the site. The property does not feature steep slopes, nor does the property lie within a floodplain. The proposed detached accessory structure could either be rotated or moved elsewhere to comply with the rear setbacks for the rural residential district. The variance will not be detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare. There has been no evidence entered into the record to suggest that the variance would be detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare. Similarly, no public agencies charged with the protection of health, safety, and welfare commented with any indication that the variance would be detrimental. Staff finds that this application does not comply with the Ada County Code and recommends denial to the board. Staff encourages the board to consider testimony presented at this hearing for your final decision. This presentation will be an exhibit to the record, and I will stand for any questions.
Okay, are any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, go ahead.
do we know who owns the property directly to the north?
If I had access to a map, I could tell you, but right now I do not.
And so, to the best of your knowledge, we haven't heard anything from the adjoining parcel owner.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Go ahead.
And the city of CUNA did, because that's within the city limits of the city of CUNA, correct?
It's within the area of impact of CUNA.
Area of impact.
Yeah,
And they made no comments?
correct, yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? All right, thank you. Okay, is the applicant here? Well, come on down.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
And Board. My name is Robert Loizell, and I'm here tonight requesting a variance setback at 7637 South McClintock Place, actually Meridian, Idaho. The setback would relieve the undue hardship because the vehicle where the plot was actually, if you look at where the pool is located and where the shop was compared to the plot, it wasn't really to scale. And if you were to rotate it 180 degrees, it would actually extend it a lot farther into the south, and I would have even a greater issue trying to turn, whether it be a truck, car, or anything, into the second garage. Also, it does not create an issue for the public health, safety, and welfare. It would just be adjusting the setback of the 10 feet. To answer your question on who's the north, was owned by Linder Farms. It's now under currently development, and housing is actually currently going there. And there's also, I believe, a 50-foot easement there on that north side of the fence as well. I did hold the public neighborhood meeting. I had no objections from any of the neighbors as far as setback conditions. It doesn't give a special privilege in the district because there's also several other properties in that Chisholm Valley number 2 that have setbacks at 10 feet and 15 feet. Currently, one on Chisholm right now is 10 feet by 10 feet. So again, the hardship, if it was denied, I would not be able to drive the vehicle up in there. And that's why I'm requesting the variance of 10 feet, so I'll be able to not keep everything intact in that area as far as landscape goes, and be able to have a gravel driveway to the garage. And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions from the board? Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, we got some questions for you before you sit down. You said it was Linder Farms who owns the other property?
It was Linder Farms. They have sold it since to a developer. I believe CB Homes is building over there, I believe.
Corey Barton?
Corey Barton. Mm-hmm.
And so have you heard directly from the owner of Corey Barton on this? Did he attend the neighborhood meeting, or did they send a representative?
No, I did send out a letter to them, to wherever their P.O. box or wherever it was, and nobody showed up, no.
Did anybody show up to your neighborhood meeting?
I did. I had 4 residents show up.
And whereabouts did they live?
I actually have the one that's directly behind me, which would actually be the west fence right there, and they were okay with it. I had the people on the, let me see, north, on the south side come over and look at the property, and another 2 people from on the Chisholm side come over and visit the property as well.
Okay, so but to the best of your knowledge, you don't know if Corey Barton was made aware or not. You did send a letter, though.
Did send a letter, yes.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Go ahead.
Yes. So back to the other picture where the house is, that one. So the road there, that's an easement for a road, correct? On the south side?
On the north side,
On the north side of your property?
Correct.
Where your fence is?
correct.
So how far is that easement go into your property?
It doesn't physically come into my property. It's from my fence line going north 50 feet.
Okay, so if and when they build that road, it will be not any of it on your property?
That's correct.
So it won't be closer to this?
No.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I hear no questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other documents need to be added to the record?
Aside from this presentation, no.
And you added the presentation to the record? Yes. Okay. All right, well, with that, I'll close the public hearing on application 2025-02868V, Robert Lucelle. Okay, any motion, or it's up to what's the pleasure of the board? Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Based on the comments and the location and the neighbors, I think this variance would be in keeping with the neighborhood.
Well, and the applicant actually demonstrated that there's other properties in the same area, so it wouldn't grant a special right of way.
That's my
because
point.
there's other properties that are less than 10 feet
Exactly.
in the same neighborhood, so.
So it
Is that what's called the base district?
doesn't change, go
Yeah,
ahead.
zoning district.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't change the character of the neighborhood, as it were. And even when the development happens, it's going to be on the other side of a 50-foot road, which would not negatively impact that as well. So I would be inclined to make a motion to approve the variance.
Any other comments? All right, well, that would require a tabling the application to a future date. What's a good date, Richard?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we could table to the same OBM on February 24th.
2/24, okay. Okay, so the motion should contain a motion to table the application till February the 24th with instructions to staff to revise the findings, fact, and conclusions to make it acceptable with the board's decision. Is that correct?
Sounds good, Mr. Chairman?
Okay, all right, I'll accept the motion.
That is the motion.
No, you made it.
I move to approve the application 202502-068-V based on the conclusions of law and findings of fact that tonight, and table it to the February 24th open business meeting to provide the staff to revise findings, fact, and conclusions of law. Does that do it?
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion's seconded. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, we'll now take up, I'll open a public hearing on application 2022-02248, CUTE, Nathaniel Ketchum. I will ask Brent Danielson to give us a report. Brent, go ahead.
Just a second. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2022-00185, CU-TE is a board-level time extension for a conditional use for a commercial stable and riding arena. The property is located east of Kuna. The property is located at 9901 West Kuna Road and is 10 acres in the rural residential district. The applicant is requesting a 2-year time extension. This is the applicant's first board-level granted time extension. If the board were to approve the time extension, it could be given until December 15th, 2027. The applicant stated in his detailed letter that the time extension is needed due to financing setbacks, and they need additional time to obtain new financing. We have not received any comments from neighboring property owners. Written comments from neighboring property owners. We have received agency comments from the Iowa Department of Fish and Game, A County Sheriff's Office, City of Kuna, Associate A County Engineer, A County Building Official, and A County Highway District, and none of them have raised any objections to the time extension. Staff finds that the application complies with A County Code and recommends approval to the board.
Any questions from the board? Go ahead.
So this would be one time extension. Would they have additional time extensions?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daley, this is the first board-level grant time extension, so if they needed additional time beyond 2 years from now, they would then have the ability to apply for a second board-level grant time extension.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Okay, no other questions. Is the applicant in the audience?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, good enough. Is there any other documents need to be added to the record?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, my presentation will be exhibit number 23.
Okay, and exhibit number 23, no other exhibits need to be added to the record. I will close the public hearing on application 2022-02248, CUTE, time extension. Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'm ready to make a motion.
Yes.
I move to approve application number 202-248-CU-TE, Nathaniel Ketchum, based on the staff report and the discussions heard tonight.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next up, we'll have, I'll open the public hearing on application 2025-02439 VAC James Russell. And we'll have Brent, he's still up. Give us a report, Brent.
Dear Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2025-02439 V-AC is an application for the approval and of accessory use for a secondary dwelling and a variance to allow for the existing single-family dwelling to remain intact as a secondary dwelling, so the family can build a new principal permitted dwelling. The site is located in the North Kuna area, and the property is located at 8945 South 10 Mile Road and is approximately 15.04 acres in the rural residential district. The applicant is requesting for the existing dwelling to remain intact on the property to be used as a secondary dwelling. A variance is needed for the secondary dwelling to exceed the maximum allowed 1,200 square feet of above-ground living space and for the secondary dwelling to be located in the front yard. The applicant has stated in their detailed letter that the existing home is 1,857 square feet and was built in 1915 and has been in their family for nearly 60 years. It is their intention to preserve both the dwelling and the acreage for future generations. The secondary dwelling will be occupied by the applicant's 96-year-old father, who currently lives in Placerville, Idaho. The existing home is being converted into a secondary dwelling as it's uniquely suited to meet their father's needs. He had lived in this home for nearly 40 years prior to relocating to Placerville, and its open single-level floor plan is familiar to him and is fully accessible. In order to grant a variance, 3 findings need to be made. 1, the variance shall not grant a special right of privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the base district. 2, the variance relieves undue hardship due to characteristics of the site. And 3, the variance shall not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. Staff finds that the variance does not constitute granting of a special right of privilege, as secondary dwellings are an allowed use in the rural residential district. Staff finds that the variance relieves undue hardship due to characteristics of the site, as the secondary dwelling is an existing dwelling that is in the front yard of the property, and there is not a way to build a new principal permitted dwelling in the front of the existing dwelling and have it comply with the 50-foot front yard setback from South 10 Mile Road. Also, the layout and existing construction of the dwelling makes it difficult to reduce the square footage of the living space to comply with the maximum of 1,200 square feet of living space that is allowed for a secondary dwelling. In addition, staff finds, based on agency responses, that the variance is not detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. Information regarding the variance was transmitted to affected public agencies charged with protection of the health, safety, and welfare of the public, and none of the agencies or political subdivisions have indicated that the variance would be detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare. We did receive one written comment from a neighbor, and this neighbor stated that they've been neighbors for over 50 years, and they want to show their support for the application. None of the agencies have raised any objections to this application. Staff finds this application complies with A County Code, and I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board?
Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
how many square feet would this exceed the requirements?
It exceeds it, let me do the math in my head. It exceeds it by 657 square feet.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Go ahead.
No question, just clear, make sure I understand. The original home was built, what year?
1915.
1915. So in essence, it's grandfathered in the sense of what was happening at the time, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daley, when this house was built, obviously we didn't have, building permits were required in 1915, so, the house, obviously when it was built didn't have building permits, so obviously it is grandfathered in. And so kind of it was, built as a farmhouse back in the day, and
Thank you.
Okay. Is the applicant here? Must be Sherry.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Sherry Russell. I reside currently at 781 South School Avenue in Kuna, Idaho. I grew up in this home. Excuse me. I purchased the property from my parents approximately 20 years ago because I wanted it to stay in the family. And I take care of my father in Placerville, which has become even more difficult, the travel back and forth with traffic. It's about a 4-hour round trip if I need to go pick him up, bring him to doctors, get him necessary health care, visits from family members, or help from family members in his care. By relocating him back to the home property, it allows more consistent health care. The VA will provide health care there that they can't in Placerville because they can't get people to travel to Placerville to help. So that puts it all on us. My nephew lives right next door to visit and help care for him. My family all lives within the area. My father, his eyesight is failing. This home is very large rooms. They're open floor plan. He is very familiar with it. He can maneuver around it very, very comfortably with his sight. Other than his sight, he's very healthy. I hope I live long enough to take care of him. So that's why we want to bring him off the mountain and put him back into the original homestead. We have been planning to build a new home on the property, but in the needs to keep this for my father and to keep the entire property in our family for generations. That's our intent. And we just ask that you consider allowing that. Right now, there's approximately 350 square feet of that house being used as storage. I do the Easter egg hunt for the city of Kuna. I've done it for 35 years. So it's stacked full of Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff. I use it for storage for that purpose. So the actual living space that he's going to be utilizing is not quite that large. And I'll stand for any questions that you might have.
Okay, any questions from the board?
How's
Okay, go ahead.
how's the house holding up?
It's doing well. We've maintained it. We've upgraded, flooring and that kind of thing, plumbing, just small things, but it's a solid house. And we grew up there and it's very sturdy. We've maintained the paint, the siding, and put a new roof on it. We've been maintaining it and keeping it in good shape. I think we sent pictures of the property that you can see that it doesn't look like a 1915 home. We've really tried hard to keep it in good shape and appealing to the neighborhood.
And maybe you could submit it to our Historical Preservation Board for accommodation or something. Not a lot of 1915 homes left, so.
Yep, excuse me, I get emotional. It's very important to our family.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead.
No questions, just to thank you for preserving it, and I agree with Commissioner Davidson. It's an example of what we should preserve, and the county should use that as an example of the way to preserve. So just based on that picture, I wouldn't have guessed it was that old. That's why I asked the question.
Thank you. And thank you, Commissioners, for considering us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Brent, you need to include, add anything to the record?
I do, Mr. Chairman. My presentation will be exhibit number 32.
Okay, number 32. Okay. Well, good enough then. With that, I will close the public hearing on application 20250-2439 VAC. And with the application being closed, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I move we approve application 202502439-V-AC, James Russell, as listed on the agenda and based on the discussion this evening and the findings of fact in the record and conclusions of law.
All right, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that. I always think it's very admirable when people want to go to these lengths to be able to keep their family together, especially families that go back generations in Idaho. And this is really a really minor variance request, and the neighborhood seems to support that. So we just want to encourage this kind of behavior because I think it's a benefit to the community. So again, I'll second that motion.
Any other discussion? No. Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next we'll have up, I'll open a public hearing on application 20250-2482V, Greg Bond. And Brent, you're still in the barrel.
So, dear Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2482V is a variance request for relief from minimum property size requirements. The site is located kind of southeast of Cuna. The property is located at 855 South Locust Grove Road in the Rural Residential District and is approximately 9.33 acres. The applicants are requesting a variance from the minimum property size requirements. The applicant has stated in their detailed letter that they have plans to rezone the property from the Rural Residential District to the Rural Urban Transition District and then apply for a one-time division to create a second parcel along with a private road application to provide frontage and access to the second parcel. The minimum parcel size for the RUT district is 5 acres. In order for the applicant to create a second parcel, they need to receive approval of a variance for lot size as the approximately 9.33 acre parcel does not have enough acreage to create 2 parcels that are both 5 acres in size. In order to grant a variance, 3 findings need to be made. 1, the variance shall not grant a special right or privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the base district. 2, the variance relieves undue hardship due to characteristics of the site. And 3, the variance shall not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. Staff finds that the variance grants a special right and privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the base district. The applicant has stated in their detail letter that there are nearby subdivision lots in the RUT district that are less than 5 acres in size due to right-of-way taking. Even though there are subdivision lots that are slightly below the minimum parcel size of the base district, when the subdivisions were applied for, there was enough acreage for the lots to meet the minimum lot size prior to the taking of right-of-way. Staff finds that the variance does not relieve an undue hardship due to characteristics of the site, as the property does not have enough acreage to divide if the property is rezoned to the Rural Urban Transition District. In addition, staff finds, based on agency responses, that the variance is not detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. Information regarding the variance was transmitted to affected public agencies charged with the protection of the health, safety, and welfare of the public, and none of the agencies charged with the protection of health, safety, and welfare have indicated that the variance would be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare. There were no public comments received on the application. None of the agencies have raised any concerns regarding the application. Staff finds that the application does not comply with the Ada County Code, and I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
So Brent, it's a 9.33 acre parcel, and they want to divide it into one 5 acre and one 4.38 acre?
Yes.
And then what's the minimum size required for that district?
So, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Davidson, the applicant will be rezoning the property they have plans to rezone it to RUT, which is the Rural Urban Transition District, and that has a minimum parcel size of 5 acres. So essentially, for them to really be able to divide and meet the minimum parcel size for the RUT district, the property would need to be 10 acres in size. So obviously, the property is just slightly less than 10 acres.
And would it be better for them to ask for the rezone first and then the variance, or is this an effective way to try to get there?
Mr. Chairman, I would say this is probably an effective way to get there. Probably for the applicant, if you're in the applicant's shoes, obviously, if you were to do the rezone and ask for this all at the same time, you're paying a lot more in application fees. And so prior to them paying to apply for the rezone and apply for the one-time division, it would make sense for them to have some understanding, to have a variance to see if the board would consider allowing for one of the resultant parcels to be less than 5 acres in size.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman and Brent, looking at the boundaries of the property, the picture, back to actually the picture of the site. I don't know if you have that up there. No, that we have it in this picture here. Do you have that?
I do not have it in the presentation now.
It looks like is there a ditch or something on the back where there's trees are?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daley, the kind of along, if you kind of look at what I have on the screen here, this is actually, I think, the South Fork of Indian Creek.
Correct. Okay.
So this is kind of a natural boundary that kind of shapes the southern boundary of the property.
I guess that was my point. There's a natural shape to the property that keeps it at only 9.33 acres, correct?
Yes.
Otherwise, it might have been configured differently when it was initially created.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daley, yes, that is the case.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions of our staff? Okay, is the applicant here? Here, Greg?
Regina.
Okay, now go ahead.
My name is Anna Canning. I'm with Centurion Engineers, and we're at 2323 South Vista. I am representing the Greg and Linda Vaughn, and we do have a PowerPoint up, so I just have to figure out
Okay,
how to
sure.
use this device. First of all, Chairman Beck and Commissioners, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of this variance. Do that? Where are we pointing?
Towards Brent.
Do that? No. This one? Oh, that one. Sorry about that. We're going now. So as Mr. Danielson spoke to, there are several parts to this application. It's not just the variance. The bonds are getting older. They're looking to downsize. Most people downsize houses. They're looking to downsize maintenance. So that's why they want to do the one-time split. They're just looking to downsize their maintenance responsibilities and to sell off a beautiful piece of property to someone else that can enjoy it. The three parts, as Brent said, is a rezone from RR to RUT, a one-time division and a private road, and then this variance request. So in my presentation, I'm going to go over three things quickly, I promise, and they are the property history, which I think Commissioner Daley will appreciate, and one-time division provisions, and then the variance findings. So this is Avalon Orchard Tracks. It was first platted in 1909. So that was a while ago. You can tell by the handwritten notes that it's quite a long time ago. And I'm zooming in on the little southeast corner. And as you look at that corner, you will see Indian Creek, as was pointed out before, and then just south of that would be the Bond property. And you can tell by the 2026 that it's there. So it's effectively created in 1909 when that subdivision plat went through and Indian Creek was there and Locust Grove Road was there as well. So it's a very old property. When it was created, not only was there not an Ada County zoning ordinance, there weren't zoning ordinances in the United States. The first one came around about 1915. So the concept of zoning, or that there might be a minimum property size at any point, was never considered when this property came into being. So when the zoning code went in 1959, there's a couple of important provisions. One of them's the 10-acre minimum parcel size. And the other one is the contiguous parcel provisions, which, to paraphrase, just basically means because of those natural boundaries of Indian Creek, and because the plat was up on the other side, and because Locust Grove was on the other side, it created a parcel that was eligible for a building permit. Okay, and this is where I geek out on code, sorry about that. So I mentioned that one part of this project is the one-time division. So I want to go through those just really briefly. I promise I'm not going to read this all. The county zoning ordinance has always shown a lot of empathy to large property owners who wanted to split off a portion of their property either for family or to make the farm work or whatever needed to be done. Most notably, there's the one-time division. But there were other ones too. In the RP zone, you have the farm development right, and I believe prior to 2000, you could split off four parcels, and it wasn't considered a subdivision. And then there was the non-farm, I don't know, maybe we don't talk about the non-farm, but that was another provision for large properties owners in the RR to sell off a portion of their property and keep the rest of it in agricultural production. So there's that overall empathy for large property owners, but even the code is quite lenient. When you look at the applicability statement, it says you have to have your property boundaries can't change, except if you did a property boundary adjustment, that's okay. And except if a utility came around and you needed to sell off an acre to a utility, that's okay. And except if Ada County Highway District came into being and took some right of way, that's okay. So they're very lenient, which is very unusual for the code. Even the standards are lenient. If you look up here, it says, the lots have to comply with the minimum lot standard, except the director can approve less if originally the parcel would have met it, but a government action took some of the property away. So I want to be clear, the Braun property was never 10 acres. It has had right-of-way taken away from it a little bit, but it was never the full 10 acres. So again, when you think about other standards in the code, nothing is this lenient. It's really quite lenient. So what's important to understand is that the bonds are asking for a variance from a standard that has multiple lenient provisions within the code. It isn't like a front yard setback where it's really hard and fast. You will meet this setback. To violate it is a violation. To not meet it is a violation. Okay. Finally, the variance findings. So as staff pointed out, they felt that this application failed to meet two findings. One was that the variance grants a right of special privilege that is not otherwise allowed in the district. And then the second one was that the variance does not relieve an undue hardship. So I'm going to go through those one at a time. The special one, special right of or privilege. I have a map in front of you. It's about 1.5 miles square. The Bond property, if I can get this to work. I see it elsewhere. It's not working. There we go. So that's the Bond property, kind of sort of in the middle there. So the green colored parcels are all in unincorporated Ada County. They're all in the RR base district, and they're all less than 10 acres in area. Now, some of them just by a little, some of them by a lot. I think the smallest one is 1.25 acres. It's really quite small. So some are old non-farm properties. Some have probably always been that way, similar to the Bond property. Some are newer subs that had right-of-way taken, so they're just a little bit under. But there's a lot of green up there. Of the 113 properties up there, only 35 of them actually have 10 acres or more. So that means you've got 78 that are less than 10 acres. 69% of that area is less than 10 acres parcel size. They don't meet the minimum. There we go. The proving the variance does not grant a special right or privilege. It's already out there. Everybody's got a special right or privilege. It's really not granting anything special to the folks that are out there already. With regard to undue hardship, I contend that the code does present a hardship due to the characteristics of the site. And that is, it's an old property with limited acreage for a one-time division. While the minimum lot size is generally not something you would vary from, the standard for a one-time division have always been and continue to be lenient. In this case, interpreting them as strictly as you would a minimum lot size standard in a subdivision is a hardship. So finally, oops. To summarize, I'll say it again. This is an old property. It's been nestled between Indian Creek, Avalon Orchard Estates, and Locust Grove Road since 1909. The bonds should be able to do a one-time division. I've demonstrated that granting the variance will not grant a special right or privilege in the area. I've also demonstrated that strict adherence to the minimum lot size creates an undue hardship. I would ask that you please approve the bond's variance for minimum parcel size, and thank you for considering this request, and I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Anna. Is there any questions from the board? Any questions? Okay. Okay. Any documents need to be added to the record?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. My presentation will be exhibit number 25, and Ms. Canning's presentation will be exhibit number 26.
And 6, okay. Okay, then, I will close public hearing on application 20250. Yeah.
I think somebody else wants.
Oh, yeah, somebody else wants, I'm sorry. You want to talk, go ahead. I didn't have anybody else signed up. Oh, yeah, I did. You're Mr. Bond.
Thank you.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Greg Bond. I live at 855 South Locust Grove Road in Cuna. And we've been living here for 33 years now. And we don't have that picture up there.
Oh, excuse me.
I brought a easel and a picture,
Want to bring it closer?
digital picture of it.
You need to bring that easel closer so we can look at it?
We have a digital photo of it, yes.
That's, I believe that's it. No,
Sorry, 1 second.
Just a little bit that way so the other two can see.
Okay, we can see it.
uh,
Go ahead, Mr. Bond.
just to let you know, there's 5 1-acre lots on the opposite side of the street. And those were done, like when that picture, there's a picture on the upper right-hand corner. And it shows a house, that's a picture of what it looked like when we moved in there. And there's a house on the other side of the street, just to give you an idea of what it looked like when we moved there. And the 5 1-acre lots were parceled back then. Then there's another 3-acre lot in there on the other side of the street too. And then the 5-acre lots were developed a year or 2 ago. So you can see the development in our neighborhood over the past 33 years. We're applying for a variance that would let us sell 5 acres and keep 4.33 acres. This would still maintain the rural setting of the neighborhood. And it would also allow someone else the opportunity to enjoy the newly developed 5-acre parcel.
Okay, any questions?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
So my question is about your neighbors. Have you talked to the neighbor that's immediately to the south? Who owns that piece? And did you ever consider asking him to buy a little chunk of that so you could make it 10 acres?
I haven't done that. I've considered doing that, but I haven't talked to him.
Have you talked to him or any of the other neighbors just about your application in general? Did you have a neighbor?
Yeah, we had a neighborhood meeting, Nobody objected to it. There was 4 different people that came from different locations.
Are they all ones surrounding you?
Yes, yeah.
Because it looks like you got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 or 6
One,
parcels?
there's 4 5-acre lots, and the 2 people that were right along our property line came, and then a couple people from the other side of the street came.
And what,
And
how
there
did
was
that-
no objections to.
No objections.
No.
Did they express support or were they neutral?
One expressed support. They were neutral about it. It's just development that's going on in the neighborhood, and we think that piece will fit in quite nicely in the area, the surrounding area.
So as far as you know, every one of your surrounding neighbors got notice and got an invite to the neighborhood?
Yes, we sent out a mailer.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Go ahead.
Now that Indian Creek, is it on the south there?
Mm-hmm.
So even if you bought a piece of that property, it would be isolated based on Indian Creek, correct?
Yeah, I would buy a chunk of Indian Creek, yeah, if I were to make it a full 10 acres.
Yeah, it would be an isolated piece of property across the creek from there.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions? Hearing none?
That's-
Okay, Linda, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, good evening, gentlemen. I just would like to thank you all for hearing our plans for the one-time split. As my husband said, we've lived there for 33 years, raised our family, our grandchildren, lots and lots of animals, and we just love it there. We've really made that place our home, and we don't want to move. We just want to downsize so it's more manageable for Greg and I to take care of by ourselves, because we plan on living there for the rest of our lives. So that's just all I'd like to say, and I would like to thank you for your consideration in this matter, and would ask for your approval.
Okay, any questions from the board? Linda?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
So tell us again what the little color-coded tabs are on the diagram.
Oh, all right. The ones on the very top, on the left, they're the 5-acre lots. And then the yellow marker, that's our home, right there in the middle of that orange triangular piece. And then on the other side of the road, the orange markers are 1-acre lots, and then that pink one, right kind of down in the middle, that's a 3-acre lot. So all the neighborhood seems to be,
Yeah.
All over the place, I guess.
all over the place. But our neighbors that are just over the ditch, the first 2 pink ones on the top left, they have no objection at all. They think it's fine.
Okay.
Thank
Any other-
you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. So when were all of those different sizes, were they created in a hodgepodge? I mean, a variety of dates as well?
Well, the 1-acre lots across the street, when were those, love?
1909.
1909. And then. 1-acre lots, no. And then the 5-acre ones have been in with the last 2 years. There was just a field out there, and then we had 1 home built, and then just recently 3 more.
And the 1-acre lots on the east side, across the road?
Yeah, those 1-acre lots were, what?
33 years.
30, yeah, that was right when we moved in there. We moved in and there was nothing there.
And so shortly after you moved in there,
Yes.
they made those 1-acre lots?
Those 1-acre lots.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, is there anyone else that wants to speak before I close the public record? Okay. And you've got the additional, you need to add anything else?
Yes,
there?
it'll be exhibit number 27, the picture.
Okay. All right, well, it's on the screen here as well. Okay, well, good enough. So, without any more testimony or any more, I will close the public hearing on application 2025-024882V, Greg Bond, okay? I've got to say, Anna, you're very persuasive. Okay, is there, I'll accept a motion. Or is there further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I am ready for a motion, but I'll have some discussion as well before or after the motion, or?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm inclined to support the application for the following reasons. One is, I think it is in keeping with the character of the neighborhood. I don't think it is.
So you don't think it grants a special right of privilege?
Special right of privilege because the neighborhoods, in a variety of times, have created the neighborhood that it is, based on a variety of different reasons, but a variety of different sizes as well. So the characteristic of the site does make it relatively difficult for it to be utilized in any other way than what they're, I think that's about the best way for them to use that. 9.33 acres is the way they're asking to use it. So based on the natural inclination, the area itself, I think that we could grant them that variance.
Okay.
Or all the requests, I guess is a better way to say that.
Is there any other discussion before a motion?
It's a
ahead.
very, I'd say minor variance request. We're talking 2/3 of an acre disparity from what the code says. So I think there's also a good buffer with the creek there. And then based on the varying size of the other lots in that neighborhood, I think it would be in keeping with the character of the neighborhood. So I think it meets the requirements for a variance based on the testimony we've heard.
Okay, I'll accept the motion. Oh, if we're gonna do something, we'll need to table it.
Correct. For the same date, the 24th?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daly, that should work.
Okay, so I move, based on the discussions we have, to approve the requests for this application 2025-024882-V, Greg Bone, and defer or table it to the 24th of February open business meeting to allow the staff to revise the findings of fact and conclusions of law based on the discussion, the record and the discussion we've had tonight.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion, is there further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, I'll open the public hearing on application 2026-000006, CUMSP, and 2022-01728, DM River Ridge Engineering. And Brent's still in the barrel, so go ahead, Brent.
Dear Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, project number 2026-0006 CU-MSP and project number 2022-01728 DA-DM is a conditional use, a master site plan application, and a development agreement modification to modify an approved RV park. The property is generally located south of Boise, near the World Center for Birds of Prey, near the intersection of Cole Road and West Vallejo Road. The property is located at 7680 West Vallejo Road and contains approximately 39.55 acres in the neighborhood commercial district. On March 23, 2023, the Board of Ada County Commissioners approved a comprehensive plan, map amendment, zone change, development agreement, conditional use, and master site plan on this property for a 310-unit recreational vehicle park on the site of the former Black Dogs Clays outdoor shooting range. With initial approval, the owners were planning on having a subsurface sewage disposal system, and RV dumping stations, and they're planning to utilize the shooting range clubhouse as a clubhouse for the RV park. Since then, the applicant has changed the sewer system, and they've decided to demolish the existing clubhouse and build a new and larger clubhouse in the same place, along with modifying the phasing plan for the development. The proposed modification exceeds what is allowed for an administrative modification. Therefore, a new conditional use and master site plan application is required. And the development agreement modification is needed to remove the old master site plan from the DA and add the new proposed master site plan to the DA. The sewer system is being changed from a septic system to a micro batch reactor. A 2,800 square foot building will be constructed in the northeast corner of the property to enclose the sewer treatment system. A 150 square foot pump house will be built at the southeast corner of the property to enclose the domestic water pump and booster station. The 2,870 square foot shooting range clubhouse will be demolished, and a new 5,000 square foot clubhouse will be built in the same location. The new sewer system will allow for full RV hookups, with each space having its own water, sewer, and power connections. We did not receive any written comments from neighboring property owners. However, we did receive phone calls, and there were concerns about odor and the impact of the micro batch reactor to neighboring properties. The applicant has a subject matter expert available to answer any questions you have about the sewer treatment facility. Several agencies have provided comments on the application. Key agency comments include: the A County building official replied that a building permit is required for the new structure. Commercial occupancy buildings shall comply with the currently adopted International Building Code and requires stamped plans from an Idaho licensed design professional. The Boise Fire Department, on behalf of the Whitney Fire District, responded that the proposed fire hydrant locations and fire flows have been approved. The loop road in the park must meet the 2018 International Fire Code specifications for fire apparatus roads, and access gates shall comply with the requirements of the International Fire Code. The applicant has requested deletion of conditions number 2A and 2B. Condition 2A states, revised master site plan that depicts rolled concrete curb and garage sections along both sides of the street. The applicant has requested for rolled curbs in front of the RV spaces and a vertical curb in other locations, and staff is supportive of this request. The applicant kind of, in Exhibit 30, kind of provided a drawing kind of showing kind of the different curbs within the RV park itself. So the blue line on the slide depicts the rolled curb, and the red line depicts the vertical curb. Condition number 2B states, a revised cross-section that depicts that the improved surface shall consist of 2.5 inches of asphalt plant mix, paving on top of a base course of 6 inches of 3/4 inch minus crushed gravel. The applicant has requested for the A County engineer to approve of the alternative material, and the county engineer has approved the alternative base material, and staff is supportive of the request. And I have a kind of exhibit that Richard will pass out to you, and this is kind of the email from our county engineer, Zach Kirk, approving of that base material. Staff finds that that project's number 2026-00006 CU-MSB and 2022-01728 DA-DM complies with the A County Code and Comprehensive Plan. And because there is a request to kind of change those initial conditions that I had in the draft findings of fact, if you were to approve this application, you can approve the application, but we would need to table to the February 24th open business meeting for the finalization of the modified development agreement document, because the development agreement document has conditions of approval. And so obviously we kind of put that off for you to make a decision on whether or not to delete condition number 2 or not. And I'll stand for any questions.
Okay, is there any questions from the board to the staff? Go ahead.
Just to reiterate what you just said and make sure I understood it. So they have, the original application we approved they have revised and updated sewage, clubhouse, streets and curbs, et cetera, a variety of things, which they're going to explain,
Yes.
which then we would have to, if we approved it, would have to be included in the updated plan.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Daly, yes, that is correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Is the applicant here? Well.
3 years later, Chairman.
Mr. Sebastian.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Sebastian Griffin, 11510 Nampa. Chairman and Commissioners, we're just here today. The amendments that we're trying to make to the development agreement are to enhance and better the area for not only the people that will be visiting the RV park, but the neighbors as well. With the sloped curving rather than the squared curbing, it's a safety deal. If we have curved all the way around the park, people are going to drive up on the curved sidewalk. So we just figured for pedestrian safety. With the sewage treatment plant, we want to keep that enclosed. We want to have a bigger facility to be able to take care of what we need to do the on-site sewage treatment. And per the current code, this would actually be an upgraded standard, an upgraded facility to keep that enclosed and taken care of. In the clubhouse space, originally we were anticipating to maintain the same clubhouse and refurbish it. We've decided that for the betterment of everybody, we're going to demolish it and build new. And that will include the laundry facility, shower, and what be it. So a new facility in that space to be able to maintain the needs of the RV park and to enhance the area. We've done a lot of work to get rid of the lead. We've done a lot of work to beautify that space, so we want to be sure it's consistent across the board. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
So the lead's all gone.
Lead's gone.
You anticipated our question, if that was finished.
All right.
We still are hauling dirt, but the mitigation process,
Right.
it took a long time with DEQ and to get to that standard. So now it's the haul off, but we've done the mitigation portion.
All right.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So the sewage treatment facility, as you said, DEQ, District Health, whoever has to sign off on it as,
Always, yes. Thank you, Commissioner. And if you need the deep details, we have our great engineer, Kevin, the best in the business. If you have more intricate details that are above my pay grade, I just do the speaking.
ours as well. That's why I asked if the professionals have signed off on it.
Part of the conditions of the agreement are that they have to sign off before we receive occupancy.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chair,
Okay, go ahead.
can you address the comments received, concerns about, I think it was smell, or I think it was generally related to the sewer, but do you want to talk about that?
Sure. And I believe our architect likely will be better to address this. Because we're doing the enclosed enclosure for the treatment, we hope that mitigates the issue. Part of the problem and concern was that because we're not able to tap into the actual county sewer or Boise sewer, this is something that we're going to have to treat on-site, and we're using the best engineers, the best architects in the project to be able to mitigate all. We can't say that there won't be any smell because it still will be a sewer treatment, but we're ensuring that if it's quality enough for people to stay there, it should be quality enough for the neighbors that are far, far away.
And how are you doing for having some affordable spots for students or lower income like we discussed?
That is still part of the plan. That lower phase, the first phase is actually what we intend to do that. And as we move up in the phases and higher tiered spaces and higher tier views will be a higher premium. But those lower spaces, we want to be able to fulfill the needs for Micron and the groups that are coming in here to try and do the construction projects, as well as students or anybody else trying to find their way back to Boise or stay here and home rather than moving away.
All right, thank you.
All right. When do you anticipate you'll be opening the first phase for rentals?
We anticipate early next year. The goal is that it will be shovel-ready, I believe is the phrase, Kevin, within the next couple months after the approval. So we anticipate early next year.
For the first phase?
Correct. Yeah, and then we plan to be completely developed within 2 years.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't have any more questions.
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, I have one online. Do they want to speak or?
Commissioner, they're currently not online, but I believe they were part of the applicant's party.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we just had that. Okay. Is there anyone else here that wishes to speak? I have John Rapp. Is it Rapp?
It's pronounced Rop, but
Oh, Rupp, okay.
but everybody
Rupp.
says it
Oh.
differently, so I take whatever I get.
Well, okay, it looks like an A to me, but it's up to you. Okay, good. Thank you, John.
Well, thank you for listening to me
Sure, go ahead.
tonight, Commissioners. As you probably know, this RV park, the whole neighborhood opposes, so I'm opposed to the whole thing. But this part of it sounds like they're going to do a good job with it from what they propose. So I haven't found anybody in the neighborhood opposed to it except for the odor. We don't know how that's going to be. Also, they plan to haul off the sewage, which sounds like a good idea rather than putting it underground and then it would seep into people's projects. But as I stated before, the reason that we were opposed to it on the onset was because it doesn't fit with the keeping with the whole rural community of our neighborhood. But thank you for listening to us, and we'll keep coming to the meetings to express our gratitude to you for looking at this.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Well, thank you, thank you. Wait a minute, any questions from the board?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No question, just thank you for participating in the public process. We appreciate that. We have to make decisions for the public, and we appreciate the public participating with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Daly.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Obviously, you said the neighborhood opposes it, you opposed it, but as it's going in, have you, had any issues with the construction so far? Or
Oh, yeah. When they did the lead extraction, they had this big clanky machine that ran in the middle of the night. My son personally called the sheriff 3 times, different days, and sheriff come out and told me how to turn it off, but it seemed like that was an issue. I mean, they were going in the middle of the night in the summer, and you could hear it. We're right across the street from it, and this clank, 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 clank. They usually start about 10 o'clock at night, well, sometimes 9, and then it would go quite a bit into the evening. Of course, they're finished with that, so we don't hear the clanking anymore. I know we talked to some of the other neighbors. There's about 27 people that I email for each of these meetings to let them know, the whole neighborhood of what's going on, because when they send out the notice, they usually just send it to me because we're within the area, but everybody else is just down the street. So that seems to be the only issue that we've had so far with it. Any other questions?
I think that's it.
Well, there was a dairy out there, but the dairy's gone, so that part of the smell's gone, isn't it?
And the flies left too. We don't have flies in our kitchen like crazy before.
Yeah.
But
So there's been some improvement to the
there's
neighborhood.
been an improvement there.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you. All right. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this? I don't have anybody else signed up. And Mr. Smith is not back on the line?
No, he is not.
Okay. All right, well, Brent, do you have things you want to add to the record?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I do. So exhibit number 31 will be the Ada County Engineer's email that Richard had passed out to you. And exhibit number 32 will be my presentation.
Okay. All right, well, with that then,
Want Sebastian to come back?
what was that?
Sebastian to come back?
Sebastian, we have a question for you.
No, I just didn't know if you wanted him.
Oh, no.
You're entitled to a.
I can give a quick rebuttal,
You want to give a
Chairman.
rebuttal? That's fine. He's happy with the smell out there because the dairy's gone.
I think we're all happy that the
Right.
smell's gone, but in light of the noise concerns, we weren't aware of that, and we'd like to apologize for any noise concerns that were happening. In the future construction and development, we'll be sure that it is adhered to, that we maintain and commit to the Ada County standards for construction. So it's a surprise to us, and that's unfortunate that they had a negative experience. But I'm glad that's the only negative experience that they had up to this point. Other than that, no other rebuttal.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank
you.
you then. All right, and we've added everything that needs to be added to the record, correct?
See a hand back there.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we have somebody else wants to talk. All right,
I didn't get to sign.
Oh, that's fine. You're welcome to take your time. Go ahead.
My name is Kelly Devine. I live across the street.
Okay.
And we oppose of the entire process of it, of the RV park coming in. I wasn't planning on speaking, so I'm a little nervous. But just to be clear, the RV park is not in characteristics with the neighborhood of our rural area. It doesn't meet those requirements. The dairy, the cows, the farms, the rural part did all work in those characteristics. And it comes with all of those animal smells. So yes, flies, no problem. It's a pain in the ass, but you work with it, whatever. So this is a whole brand new, thing that we're having to deal with. That is not what we planned moving into the farm life area where it was. So I just wanted to clarify that, that the trailers coming in on the road that has the drop-offs on either side, no good. The road is not made for many vehicles. It was made for, trailers with hay and the cows coming in and the horses and dog walking and stuff like that. So that's the part that we are going to continue to have to deal with as the very few people that live there in the farm life area, that is now going to be completely changed. So I just wanted to make sure that that was understood.
Sure, we understand. Thank you. Is there any
Thank you.
questions of the, okay.
I'll just say, yeah, unfortunately, didn't go your way. It's development happens, and everybody really doesn't like development next to them, I understand. I'm having a bunch going on next to me, but we gave it a good go-around, but just because we approved it doesn't mean you still can't have input and collaboration with
Absolutely.
developers to make sure it goes in a way that if it is going in a way that
It should benefit everyone.
yeah, and that's a minor, well, to have as least impact on the existing neighborhood as
safety,
possible.
yes.
Yeah, so just keep staying involved and keep an eye on things, and if you have other issues, you can always bring them back to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would Mr. Sebastian like another rebuttal? You're welcome to if you'd like. You want to talk?
Yes.
Okay, come on up.
Commissioners, my name is Vicky Margurdio. I do still have cows. They are beef cows,
Beef
for
cows.
clarification.
Okay.
We still farm in the clear proximity adjacent to the development. We're not opposed, but we are watching the process.
As you should.
The concern I have, and I know they'll have to get their DEQ and all their environmental permits, the proximity of the sewage station to the New York Canal. That is a great concern for all of us, because that is a major waterway for the valley, for all of us irrigators that still farm, and that is a concern. So I want to thank you for your time. Just wanted to get up and clarify that there's still cows out there.
They're just beef
There are
cows.
not as many flies probably, but they're still beef. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, wait, did you have a question?
I was hoping you would comment, because I saw you out there, so thank you for commenting about the farms that's still there.
At this time, it's still there, and it's a 100-year farm, and it's, like I said, everything is changing, everything, including ourselves, so, just for a clarification. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just wondered if maybe the engineer, since the sewage was brought up, maybe he could speak to that for the board.
Hi there. I'm Kevin Farrell with River Ridge Engineering, 2447 South Vista Ave. So Charlie Smith was our is doing the sewer treatment facility, and he had an emergency, but I'm doing all the rest of the on-site, the grading and the gravity sewer and stuff. But I have some of his notes, and essentially all the raw sewage will be collected below grade, and then it goes into the treatment facility, so none of that will be exposed. By the time it comes out of the system, it's what they call Class A recycled water, which is good enough to irrigate the system. So ideally, they will be using all of that reused water that's been treated for irrigation on site, and what isn't used will be infiltrated in the ground. But this system versus the previous system, which was more like essentially a large septic system, which wouldn't have really treated the wastewater. It would just kind of settle out and then infiltrate. This is going to treat it to that Class A standard, which is the same that City of Boise does in those larger municipalities. So the water that's going back into the ground should be relatively clean and good enough to use for irrigation, which we will be doing on the site.
All right. It's my understanding as well from your previous application that you were going to bring in a water line from Veolia about a mile or so.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
So people along the way could hook up to that as well.
Yes.
Is that not correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
just amplification of what you just said then. The sewage system will be equivalent of what other cities in the valley are using in terms of water quality as it comes out of the sewage treatment plant, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Like the city of Boise is actually putting back into the Boise River.
Yes.
And as I understand it, this is a major upgrade from what had originally been planned.
Yes, yeah. So that the original system was that it's called an LSAS system, which is basically it comes to a giant septic tank and then gets through a drain field. So this is actually treating it on site before we infiltrate it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, any other questions of the engineer? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, we've had a thorough discussion. Any other questions or any other people who want to discuss or any other rebuttals or anything? We want to make sure everybody gets a say. Okay. Well, thank you. Then I will close the public record on application 2026-0006 CU MSP and 2022-01728 DADM. The public hearing being closed. Any comments or discussion or any motion?
Mr. Chair, I'm ready to make a motion.
All right, go ahead.
I'll move to approve application 202-600-006 CU-MSP and 202-201-728 DA-DM. River Ridge Engineering, based on the application and the staff recommendation and the testimony heard this evening.
Okay.
Yes.
I second the motion based on, I think this is not only the renewing what the plans, but it's a major improvement on the plan itself, and so it's streets, sewage, everything. So I would second the motion.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, I do recall Brent indicating that this would be, if you did decide to approve, we'd need to table.
Table it to do some of the changes on the conditions of approval?
Yes, and for the development agreement modification agreement to be completed.
That's true.
Oh, okay. So the motion needs to include tabling till the 24th, you say? Okay.
All right, so I'll amend the motion to table this till February 24th, 2026, open business meeting, and to, say it again?
Update the.
To update the development agreement modification and the condition of approval.
And to update the development agreement modification and the condition of approval.
I second that updated motion.
Okay, the updated motion, is it clear, Richard?
It's very clear.
Okay. All right, well, you've got the motion. Any further discussion before we vote? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Well, that concludes the business we have today, unless there's any other business that needs to be brought up. We are adjourned. Thank you. Thanks for coming coming out, appreciate it.